there, it's Evelyn with Magellan College Counseling, and I'm here with Armando Diaz. He is one of the newer members of our team, but he is not new to college counseling. So I asked him to sit down with me and share a little bit of his experience so you could get a feel for what it would be like to work with him. I actually met Mondo going on like 4 or 5 years ago. We were both teaching in UC Berkeley's college counseling certificate program. And I'm still teaching in that program. He has since left, and he has 21 years of experience as a school counselor, a college counselor in a private high school. So he has tons of experience. So, Mondo, tell us how you arrived at college counseling. How'd you get here?
Wow, it's well, first of all, thank you, Evelyn, so much for inviting me and having me on the team. I guess it was inevitable that we were going to pair up
Yep. Yep.
somehow. So yes, we'll talk about that as well. But gosh, my I entered the world of counseling back in 2008. One of the gals on the counseling team that I'm currently at now stayed home for maternity leave permanently, so it kind of came to a shock for the school. But I had just finished my master's in PPS in school counseling from St. Mary's College. You see my diploma right here over my head,
Got it.
and entered counseling in 2008, 2009. I've been in that field ever since. And as soon as you jump into the realm of being on a school site, you start doing college counseling no matter what grade level you're at. You might say, "Well, I have freshmen and there's going to be a family that wants to know how to get into Stanford,
Sure.
as
Sure.
14-year-olds." So I've been in the field for since 2008, and I'm currently the chair of my team, and just enjoying every minute of it. I happen to have a senior class now, so I'm working with 280 seniors through the process.
Wow.
There's some highs and there's some lows,
Sure.
but they families look to us and trust us to guide them through the process, through the good, bad, and the ugly. So it continues to be a real wonderful experience.
And even when there's lows, even when you get bad news, it doesn't feel like it in the moment, right? But as a counselor, that in the end, a couple months down the road, that student is going to get good news, and that student is going to end up at the right place.
Yes, there's a bit of a human touch to the skill set that you start building those foundational pieces in the beginning when you assure families it's about fit. I know that's something that Magellan really values tremendously
Yep.
is the right fit,
Yep.
and that's what we all do. But I think particularly in my case, I put a lot of emphasis on those initial stages in the beginning where we say, hey, if we focus on the right college match for your child, not
Right.
that where your child sort of is pining to go all the time,
Right.
which isn't
Right.
always the right way to look at it.
Or where the
Uh,
parent is pining for the student to go.
exactly, and when you sort of orient yourself directly and correctly, then
Mhm.
it all does work out. And I think it still places a tremendous need to have people like us,
Yeah.
sort of know what to and what not to focus on, which is probably, one of the most rewarding parts of the work that we do and I do is building that relationship to navigate through those weeds.
Yep.
But it's continues to be a very rewarding part of the field.
Yep. People often ask me what is my favorite college that I've ever visited. I'm guessing you
Um,
visited a whole bunch just like I have. What's your favorite college?
oh gosh, I think I would say probably University of Notre Dame,
Okay.
where I was able to spend the last 3 weeks there. I do some mentoring of educators in the world of education and actually
Yeah.
some college work, advising work with them as well.
Yes.
That campus is electric. It's just all day and night long. There's a passion for the being there like a vacation site, which a
Interesting.
lot of schools share, but that particular campus is just alive,
That's great.
and so I think that was probably the one that I had. I think the part that sold me the most, they have those those robots going around, those
Don't you
self-driving
love
robots.
those? I
Yeah,
love
they're
those.
hilarious, bumping into people and almost getting run over. And I said, "Oh, this must be Notre Dame. This is the great
I took
place."
a video. I was at the University of Tulsa actually,
Totally.
like a month and a half ago, and there they were, the little food delivery robot. I just can't.
Yeah.
I'm not. They're still cute. I can't help it.
They're very cute. It's all part of that experience. I mean,
It
one of the
is.
things that we do is we sort of talk about those niches and help the students find those
Yeah.
little sparks that get their curiosity pumping. And And then next thing you know, they're in the college admissions process, whether they kind of know it or
Amazing.
not. So, but I'd say
Exactly.
University of Notre Dame is probably my favorite campus.
Notre Dame, fabulous. And what's your favorite kind of student to work with? Who do you work really well with?
Gosh, again, my training is starting in school counseling um, is very much rooted in knowing whether a student is developmentally, where the young person is as
Yeah,
just in the growth of their personhood. And I know, having worked with students for many years, that I have a soft spot for the reluctant student, the one
oh,
who's kind of slyly engaged, sort of passingly, it's a little bit at arm's length. They're not quite sure, and maybe even a little reluctant. That was very much me when I was going through the process, and I didn't quite know exactly what I was doing, but I knew I needed to do it anyway.
yeah,
And I think if you work on building relationship and building trust, and um, and then you get to that place where that reluctant, sort of slyly engaged student is really in the process and they become excited. I,
yeah.
I love those types of students. I see myself in them, and
That's great.
and I know how to work with them with my background, and then having worked with you and training other counselors on how to work
Yep,
with these types
yep.
of scenarios as well. So I think that's what I have a soft spot for, that reluctant student, and just try
Yep.
to work and break those barriers down, and then have everyone trust the process and move
Yep.
forward, and that becomes a very enriching part of it for sure.
Yep, it is. And I think one of the important parts of what you just said was you really need to build that partnership. And sometimes parents yeah, like they'll come to my seminars or they'll read some of our information and they'll say I've got everything I need. And
Mhm,
the hardest part is parents have a different kind of relationship with their child than an outside sort of more objective person. And so
mhm,
I think for the families who hire us, um,
mhm,
building that relationship with the student, which takes time to get the student to really trust that, you are centering the student. I am
mhm.
centering the student in this process, right?
Absolutely, yes. I think that imagine, being a young person and wanting to go to Disneyland, sort of spending years dreaming about going to
Right.
Disneyland. But in the end, when you're there, you kind of want someone to help you navigate it too.
Navigate
Right?
it.
You want
Yeah.
to have a parent or somebody and kind of help you. You know you're gonna love it,
Yeah.
but you need a little help along the way. And I think
Yep.
that sense of relationship building is something that I've really come to work on. And again, you and I, having trained
Yeah.
counselors, to really focus on that, not as a way to sort of be fluffy about it, but as a real crucial piece to the process, because the things will there'll be some ups and downs. There might be moments when the family doesn't know what to do, and there might be a no, or a need to be really nimble and pivot accordingly, and that trust is there.
Yeah.
Then you usually, work your way through it. But I think relationship building is something that I really value tremendously. And I think Magellan is a really wonderful organization that puts great emphasis on that as well.
So thank you. You're in a unique position in that you are a school counselor. So sometimes families think when they hire an outside counselor that they don't need to continue to keep that relationship going with their school counselor. What would you say to a family who thinks
Well,
that?
one of the things that in the context of the Berkeley course is, I tell families, let's treat this like a rectangle where there's each side represents a group that's connected to each other,
Yeah,
and on one side you have the student, the family, the school, the
yeah,
counselor,
yeah,
and us,
yeah,
and we're all sort of making the whole picture complete.
yeah.
And I would say that the more people you involve, the better. In some cases, the school has a crucial, if not a singular role in the process, in terms of
Absolutely,
sending transcripts and writing letters,
absolutely.
and
Yep,
and
yep.
having an opportunity to know which reps work best for their sites.
Yes,
And I think it's a professional responsibility that we share as independent educational consultants or school counselors,
right,
to collaborate with each other. And I know I find myself at the school site often giving the student my business card and saying, have them give me a call, have them give me a call.
great.
And then in Berkeley,
Yeah.
telling the counselors, make sure you're touching base with the school, make sure you're touching base with the school, and
Yeah.
just making sure everyone's on the same page. And we know it
Yep.
takes a village to raise a kid, so the college advising is no different.
It's the culmination of it. It absolutely is.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Beautiful. What advice do you give those ninth and 10th graders who come into your office and they've got really, really high aspirations? What do you tell them?
Well, you can sort of take two approaches, and for example, one of the my new counselors on the team, I gave a handout of the top 40 colleges and their various admissions rates. So you could come at it from sort of the fact-based approach
Yeah.
and maybe show them some studies or some visuals, or maybe
Yep.
have them get onto their learning management system if they use Naviance or
Right.
Score, and show
Yep.
them the facts, show them the scattergrams. You
Yeah.
can let the data make your point for you. Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
see that, and then you're down here. You can do that, or you can choose to be just sort of from a relational perspective,
Yeah.
um, say to them, kind of use fun analogies like, hey, what's your favorite restaurant? They say Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? If I said that's the one place you're going to eat for the next 4 years, you wouldn't want to at least think about other places and
Mhm.
have them see it from a more human perspective. But
Yeah.
those things aside, I think you just try to instill a little bit of your professional adult perspective,
Right.
and you not to sort of squash their dreams. I have
No.
one student, for example, who um, dreamt as a ninth grader of playing sports for a major university, Stanford University, and he did it. He's actually signed to play baseball for Stanford
Wow.
yesterday. So you want to keep those dreams alive, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you want to make sure they're realistic and reliable and well thought through
Yep.
dreams that involve
Yep.
everybody, not just
Yep.
what they think is up here.
Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Well, I think that our families are fortunate to be considering working with you. And I'm thrilled to welcome you to the team and looking forward to working with students and getting great results with them.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to be part of Magellan's team. I know there's a tremendous emphasis on relationship building and helping students and families find that kind of aha moment, that light
Yep.
bulb moment
Yep.
when what we're saying connects to their hopes and their dreams, and those things come together, and it's a beautiful process. And one of the things that I tell my team and the work that I've done with Berkeley here, I was really blessed enough to win a instructor award for our Berkeley extension back in 2020.
Mm.
I would tell my team and my counselors that every student that is in front of you that comes your way is represents the dreams and goals of that whole student's family, right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
just never
True.
know when that
Yeah.
one kid in front of you, when generations worth of hopes and dreams and trials and struggles all
Yep.
come to a point with that one young person, you've got to
Mhm.
honor that, you
Yeah.
know. And that was me. I was a first generation student myself many years ago. My family came to the United States from Mexico. My grandfather was a bracero in the bracero program in the 40s and 50s, and here I am because of the hopes and dreams and ambitions of my family in the past. And so I think I still try to bring that spirit
Yeah.
into the students and families and clients that I see. So I would love
Awesome.
to
Awesome.
form that relationship with anyone who's interested, and just encourage them to explore Magellan either way. It's a great organization to help your family.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for talking to me today, Mondo.
Thank you, Evelyn.